I mean, if I'm being honest, it was like probably like a good year of my life for like crying myself to sleep. Now looking back, I can see this clear path, but of course at the time you don't see it. Yes, like I could stay completely busy, just being a mom, having a dog, just the normal household stuff. Like I could more than fill up my day, but nothing feeds me more than doing the work that I do.
When I work with somebody, I give my completely trust. For me, it's just the only way of working together.
No, and I can't tell you how much that means as someone who has worked for you, though. You know, I mean, because that is not a given.
Welcome to the Moon Talks podcast, a space for cosmic connection, daily rituals, and expansive inspiration. Take a deep breath, tune in, and let's begin.
Okay.
Hi, Ashley, and welcome to Moon Talks today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's so nice to have you. I mean, we work, since I think more than 2 years together.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
because it was at the beginning of the year. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
How fun.
How are you doing today?
Honestly, a little bit on the nervous side, but
Me too.
No, but I'm doing good. Springtime is finally coming, so you know,
Amen.
something to look forward to.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And first thing first, how we met each other, it was actually through your book with Ashley, Table Set for Sisterhood.
Yes, by the two Ashleys, from not very many of us in Switzerland, both Americans. This is a book, very much a labor of love that we created over 4 years. Yeah, because it was through the pandemic. It started far before that, and it was an amazing journey.
Yeah.
Shall I describe it for you?
Please.
Okay.
We want to hear that.
Yeah, it's a feminist cookbook, I guess is what we would call it. And it features 35 female icons from around the world through, I guess, the last 200 years or so. And my good friend Ashley Schutz, who I worked with on this, is a chef. And I had started drawing women that I was inspired by and posting them on Instagram. And she said, we should combine our talents. And at first I didn't know what that looked like. And I was hesitant to let go of my babies kind of, and to collaborate, because it's always a little bit, you never know what you're going to get and how you're going to work with someone. Mm-hmm. But through a lot of really fun discussions, we decided to create this cookbook where, we chose these different women, and then each one has a recipe that's inspired by perhaps where she comes from, what she accomplished, what else? Just inspired by her life. Mm-hmm. And Ashley's so incredibly talented when it comes to food. Her knowledge of ingredients around the world really helped when we're working with women from around the world to really bring the flavors that we hope would really bring their story to life. Yes. And so it's a fully illustrated cookbook. I illustrated each of the women and the foods. And I tried to make a visual connection between the two so that it would just drive home the dish and how it came to be inspired by the woman.
So beautiful. Do you have a favorite recipe?
Oh, I have so many. To be honest, I really I'm not just saying this because it's my cookbook. I mean, of course, I also like to promote the cookbook, but I love so many. One of my favorites is Gloria Steinem's recipe, and it's a caramelized fennel pasta, and it's got lemon notes in it and garlic, and then the fennel, which I didn't even know, but when you slice it up and caramelize it like you would with an onion, it has the most incredible flavor, and She nailed it. She nailed it on this one.
Oh, so nice. So nice. Also we met each other.
Yes.
And we create a lot of products together. We don't even have all of them here, but we will talk about it later.
Okay, great.
But first thing first, for me, very interesting to know, how did you find your way into graphic designs? Because I saw a picture actually with you and your dad on your website. Was it an initiator of this process?
So, I mean, that picture was actually very representative of my childhood because my dad is not necessarily the most creative person, I would say, but he was very, very supportive. And so that was like a real hobby of ours together. When I was small, we would go for a walk around the block and then we would come home and color together.
Oh.
And he traveled a lot for work growing up. So those nights when he was home, that was like what we did, rain or shine. And I think it was just something that, I mean, that was just coloring books. But I mean, I've just always loved creating with my hands and color. And from a very early age, I was just drawing everything I possibly could. So, I mean, I hesitate a little bit when you say like a graphic designer, because I do a lot of graphic design, but I feel first and foremost more of an illustrator than a graphic designer. I've actually been trying to think of like, how do I describe what I do fully? And I guess I would say my title may be more like a visual designer. Like I can definitely work with graphics and fonts and logos and all of that. I love that. But I really like all of the visual elements. And I think that can really bring a project together when you've got illustration work brought into it, and you can really help like a company, for instance, bring a language, like a visual language to their brand. And now I forgot your question to begin with. There's my dad. There's what I do. So how did I get into it? Was that
exactly.
it?
Or when did you realize that visual design?
Yeah, let's call it visual design.
Yeah. Was not just an hobby or skill you had, but you wanted to turn it into a profession.
Yeah. So, I mean, because it had always been something that I gravitated toward, once I hit college, I sort of felt like I can probably do other things. Not very well, but I can do other things. So I tried out a couple different majors and I did other things because I just felt like I wanted to spread my wings a little bit. But I remember going to an art exhibit at my university, and it was an installation that was, I wish I remembered who the artist was, because I really don't. But there was something about walking into this room. It like captivated me in a way that art had never done before. And it made me feel feelings. I don't know, like it was almost a little bit spooky. It was this dark room. And I ate it up. I would in between classes, go and see this exhibit over and over again. And I just felt like if art could make me feel this strongly and pull me in time and time again like this, and it was something that I always had an affinity for, I thought, why am I trying to, reinvent the wheel? Why don't I just go with what's like my natural ability? And from there, I studied painting, and I loved it. And then over time, I mean, it's a long story, but I went to fashion school after that because I also love that. But through that, I started doing fashion illustration work. And I was, one of my professors really took me under her wing and taught me the trade. Which was really cool. And that started my freelance career because I started working freelance for her. And from there, I slowly got into every kind of illustration I could get my hands on. And now I don't do much of the fashion illustrating anymore. But it seemed that it just brought back all of the things that I had loved as a child, just coming back to drawing, just straight up drawing. I love it. It's just my favorite. And now looking back, I can see this clear path. But of course, at the time, you don't see it. But I feel like it was a lot of different elements that kind of came together to create the job that I have and I love.
So nice. So nice. And how did this, visual design change your life, actually?
I think it's really, I don't take it lightly that I am able to do something that I love.
Mm-hmm.
And also to be able to look back on my life and see this thread, this thing that I've always come back to.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, a lot of my friends, my husband actually, he is one of those people who's good at everything. He's really just kind of everything he tries, he's really good at. And while, of course, that's amazing, he has a hard time deciding what it is that he really feels passionate about because everything kind of comes easily. And I'm not trying to like belittle myself, but I'm not that good at at a million things. I'm good at I'm good at a few things. And I think in a way that makes your life easier because you keep coming back to those things and you strengthen them and it pulls you in. So how do I answer this even? It just gives me this like grounding to know that I have this thing that I've always loved, and the fact that I can make money doing it sometimes feels like this is amazing.
So nice. And also nice to see or feel your energy while you are talking about it.
Thank you.
And how do you actually work? How do your creative work function?
Yeah. Do you mean like when I'm working for clients or like doing personal stuff? Yeah. So for me, being a very visual person and realizing that not everyone is a visual person, I think the most important thing whenever I get a new client is to really ask them, like, send me images. Okay. Send me what is on your mind, because a lot of people don't think in the same way that I do. They maybe described something, but then once you see some actual images of what they're drawn to, they can be vastly different things. And so I always want like a jumping off point. Like, okay, what kind of style are you interested in? Of course, I have like my preferred style or color or whatever. Like I come with a lot of my own likes and my own talents. But nonetheless, I think it's very important to bend to your clients and what they are feeling. So I always start with send me images. Like, okay, you say you want a new logo. What do you like? Like, show me some websites that you think are really amazing or that are working. You want a portrait done. Like, what does that mean to you? Like, show me what excites you. And, then of course from there's a lot of bending of wills, but we try to find the commonality and the road forward.
And will you say during this process, do you follow your intuition?
I think so, definitely. Because of course, as much as I want to make my clients happy, that's everything. No, that's not everything. But that's a big part of it, of course, But I would be lying if I said I didn't come in with my own ideas and my own, I would really like to see this come out this way. So it requires a lot of listening to myself. And sometimes you're really shot down by clients, or, you keep sending them, you keep trying. And it's not always what they want, but we work through it. But my intuition has to be a part of it, because I can't create something that in the end I'm just like, oh, this is awful, that kind of kills me,
And like, how do you balance, especially if you work for someone, your creative process, the briefs, the feedbacks?
It's not always easy. That is definitely the truth. Yeah, there have definitely been times where I feel like they're wrong. They are just wrong. I gave them 3 choices and they chose the wrong one, But there have definitely been times where I've learned a great deal because I wanted to go one direction, but the client said, I really feel more this way. And then in the end, it's like, shit, that turned out really great. They were right,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it's like, it's a hard pill to swallow, but at the same time, we want the same thing. We want the best product in the end. And there are times where they want to go a direction that I don't love and it's not the best fit, but nonetheless, I'm going to pour my heart into it and do the best I can.
Yeah. What I saw when we worked together, I mean, yeah, like I said, there was just a bunch of products we create together, and I hope that I always really enjoyed to work with you. I'm still, and because we have still a lot of projects going on, dog cards, small spoilers. But do you have any favorite product so far that
we've created together? Oh gosh, Alicia, honestly, and I'm not just saying this, like you're just a joy to work with, like you. But I think also we understand each other and we have like a similar aesthetic. I think a lot of times, so it was quite easy. I wish all clients could be quite this easy. But with that came. Yeah, so many things I'm proud of. I'm really excited about, I mean, should I mention the dog cards?
Of course.
So we've created these Oracle cards. Thank you. Yep. My brain's fried. Yeah, we've created these Oracle cards, and it's 33 cards that kind of, I mean, maybe you want to describe it. Maybe you would probably describe it better than I would.
Well, actually, everything started with the magic cat cards.
With the cat
because,
cards.
Of course, I'm a cat mom of 2.
Yes.
But I love also animals, and we have so many clients with dogs. So I was, we need to do the same thing with dogs. And those cards for me are just like, having a small message through the day that line up your heart, that make everything feels a little bit easier. And
when you have like a guiding star kind of.
Exactly. And you were able to draw them so beautifully, and really actually in general I'm feeling you felt the essence of the brand, and I think it's so important, especially if you have no talents for illustration whatsoever.
It's not entirely true, but okay, we move forward.
I just know for me what feels good and what looks best.
Yeah. No, I mean, and even as we're saying this, I'm like, well, I don't know. Is that the thing I'm most proud of? I mean, like, honestly, I just love, sorry to just throw everything around here. No, I mean, I really love what we came up with for your, like, brand identity, I didn't come up with the logo, but we've worked extensively on graphic design and illustration work since then. And I don't know. We need to be like, no, but I really love that we were able to come up with. Yeah, it's not just a logo. It's like we've got a whole vibe, and I love doing that. And I do think that's like this visual language that we created. Like it says so much more than. I mean, logos can do a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I think when you can incorporate a lot of visual elements to make all of your products and your store cohesive, it's a beautiful thing. And I love the way it came together. I love it. I really do.
Yeah, me too, of course.
Good.
Yes. And I mean, Moon Up, it's a lot about modern spirituality. And the question I always ask is, what does spirituality actually means to you?
So, Alicia, I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous about this question.
Sorry.
No. I feel like it requires a lot of background work. I'll try to keep it brief, but, I grew up in a very, very religious household. I grew up Mormon. And that doesn't mean so much, I feel like, to a lot of Europeans, but if you're American, it's a pretty big religion and very big culture. And so I only left the church, I don't know, 12 years ago or so. So, I mean, I was fully in adulthood when I finally realized, like, this is not everything that was taught to me. Like it's not the end all. And that is a big part of the religion is you can pray to know that this is the one and only true church. And I feel in a lot of ways I was somewhat brainwashed to believe that. And then once I got old enough and had enough questions, I just realized I wasn't getting that promised answer, like it just didn't, it's like the puzzle just didn't fit anymore. And I wanted it to fit so badly because it was comforting to have this thing that had always been in my life. It made a lot of the decisions for me. I didn't, I wouldn't say I was somebody who wanted to rebel. I wanted it to be true. But anyway, so that's like a whole backstory. But I would say that when I really left that religion, in a lot of ways, it felt like I needed to, like, do you know the phrase, like, throw the baby out with the bathwater? Does that like mean something to you? So I felt like it kind of made it so I had to just throw out all spirituality in a way. Like, it just felt like it had been so oppressive and such a huge part of my life that it just felt like I just need just nothing. Don't anybody tell me what to believe or give me something to follow. I just need to focus completely inward. And so I would say, it's a roundabout way of answering, but I would say that I don't have a huge spiritual practice. I have more of a, how would I even put it? I've really worked to hone my own belief in myself, I guess, because for so long, anytime there was a big problem or something a big decision I had to make, it was pray to get an answer, somebody else's answer. And to learn to just ask myself, what do you feel? That intuition that we were talking about, what resonates for you as a human? I don't need a greater power sometimes to just tell me what I feel. It's really understanding my wants and my desires. And so I will say now, after many years of being without religion, I do feel more and more of a pull toward some sort of greater power. It's slowly coming back in. And I think the pendulum had to just swing super far in the opposite direction for me to slowly come back to maybe just a more middle place.
Yes.
But I'm not there yet. I'm still working on, trusting my own intuition. And I do hope, though, that eventually it will move a little bit more toward the center where I can look outside of myself and feel more of the energy of the universe. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting journey. It's changed a lot over the years.
Yeah. Thank you so much for talking about it and also being so vulnerable.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I at times I feel like I'm so stereotypical American because I'm very open about, if you want to hear about it, I also just like the idea of someone else. If ever something that I've gone through could help someone else, that would mean more than anything to me, because it was a hard journey.
I can imagine. I mean, I was raised as Catholic, so I understand pretty much what you were saying. And also, for me, it was really a slow process to get out of the church and trusting and believing in more. But I can imagine if you go out of the church from one day to another, there is this big pillar falling off. I cannot pray anymore to God, and I somehow feel alone in this process. I have just myself.
Yeah.
How do you cope? Or how did you cope with it? Or
I mean, if I'm being honest, it was probably a good year of my life for crying myself to sleep. And that sounds very dramatic, but it shook me in such a big way. It was really scary. And I have to say, my husband, he's my best friend, and he was there alongside me. He was not Mormon. He But he knew how much it meant to me, and he was a huge support. I mean, what you would hope for in any friend, you know?
Yes.
But he also knew it was something that I had to go through on my own. Like, he couldn't give me the answers. Nobody could, you know? It had to be my decision. And it was also hard because my parents are still in the religion. I have 3 brothers, and they all had left slowly. So I was kind of the last holdout. And I think that they never thought that I would leave the religion. So I was also carrying their sorrow, you know. They wanted it for me, you know. They still want it for me, but I just couldn't do it for anyone. And at the same time, I mean, to bring another layer into it, at the same time, when I was really, really questioning things, I was pregnant with my daughter, my first child. And especially once she was born, that really I feel like was like the turning point. It was still hard. I still had to cry a lot of tears, but I just looked at this little person, and it was just like, I cannot, like, there's no way I can teach you something that I don't believe. Like, that's, even if I only believed it 50%, I still can't teach it. You know, like, it has to be like, what I'm going to instill in this person has to be something I fully feel in my heart. And that, I mean, it really helped to make the decision. It was just like, forget it. We're done. We're done here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was tough.
Yeah.
It was really tough.
That's so nice that you can openly talk about it now. And also, I think it's part of the process.
Yeah,
to be able to talk.
Yeah. 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 And to show people, like, I mean, especially those who are within that religion, like, guess what? Like, there's happiness outside of it too. Because I think the picture that's often painted from the religion standpoint is like, oh, you leave and your life falls to pieces. And it's like, no, I mean, you know, knock on wood, I feel very, very fortunate and really happy with the decision. So.
And do you have practices now to ground yourself or to connect with yourself again that, you learned over time that this helps you? Yeah,
I mean, as simple as this is, one of the most important things, because I'm somebody who does tend to run on the anxious side, going for a walk. I mean, as simple as it is, I've really learned in managing my own anxiety, and especially like being a mom, and the day can get, you know, quite intense. In the evenings, if I can make the time for myself and like just walk and not listen to anything, not talk to anybody, and just like move my body, that's one of the most helpful things in the world for me.
Yes.
But I mean, I also, you know, I try to meditate in the evenings, and I have, you know, many different little things. I do yoga and all these things, but if I'm being honest, the most helpful thing for me really is just like getting outside and moving my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you already said it. You have many different roles, not only visual designer, but mom, wife, dog mom with Gino.
Shoot me.
Dog. And I mean, at the end, you still need to function as a creative a freelancer. How do you cope everything? Is just walking, or do you have any other?
God, I don't even know. Sometimes, how am I doing this? It's a balancing act. I mean, I wish I had some like, oh, this really is the key, but it's really just rolling with the punches, you know, a lot of the time. Because as working as a freelancer, things come and they go. You know, there are times where I have 3 projects going at once and the deadlines are all coming at the same time. And then there's times where it's like, oh shit, I got to get more clients. What am I doing? You know, is there, you know, and it's, for me, it's really a lot about just like trying to be in the moment that I'm in, because my monkey mind, you know, it will always want to go to, you know what, things are drying up, you're never going to have another client again, you know, like, or you're never going to get all of this done. But like if I can focus my energy on what I'm actually working on now, I'm going to create the best work. And I have to believe that it's the things that need to come will come, you know? yeah, it's a busy life. It is. As you alluded to, I have this 8.5-month-old puppy. I mean, I guess he's not a puppy anymore. Still acts like a puppy, but I mean, honestly, that's like been the biggest challenge. Yeah, I feel like I have a third kid. It's a lot of work, and we're still figuring it out. Day by day, but it's intense. But I will say that if I didn't, yes, like I could stay completely busy, just being a mom, having a dog, just the normal household stuff. Like I could more than fill up my day, but nothing feeds me more than doing the work that I do. It is such a great way for me to just tune out, like I can just get lost in what I'm doing. And time flies by, and it's the best. I honestly can say I love what I do. It's not like it's all roses. There's difficult parts, of course, but it feeds me so much. Yeah. I feel very, very grateful for it.
Indeed, one of my questions was if you will look, or if you could go back in time, if you will choose this path again as a visual designer. Mm-hmm. So probably the answer.
Yeah, I would definitely do it. I mean, if I could give myself a little bit of advice on that, I think, one of the biggest things would be just there's no rush. Mm-hmm. And I often feel that still, this like rush to have the career that I feel like I should have. What does that even mean? There's time, there's time to, and it can change and morph into different things, and you have different clients than you thought, but there's no end point. Like now my career is what I want it to be, or it's just perfect, because it's always going to be changing. And I wish I had given myself a little bit more grace along the way and not always felt like, oh, is it where it should be? Or am I as far along in my career as other people my age, or whatever, like it comes along when it's supposed to. And I have to say it's been very, very organic and it's worked out, but I feel like I've spent a lot of time worrying, is it going to work out?
Probably also the hustling to always compare ourselves with others.
Yeah, it's so hard not to. It is really, really hard. But I will say it gets easier and easier the older I get. But I'm still a long way off from being perfect on that front, for sure.
Who is perfect?
Exactly. I mean, that's just a fallacy.
Is there actually something you wish you had known earlier in your freelance journey?
That's a good question. Yeah, I guess more along what I said, just that you have time. Like, it doesn't have to be right now. Like there is time, and no one can tell you when it's supposed to be, I mean, so what if someone else like really got their career happening at 25 and it's just like booming, I'm also, I feel like mine, I mean, I started it and then I had to take time off to have kids. I mean, I chose to take some time off to have kids and to write my book and do all of that, like more of a personal thing. And so I didn't take like this linear path, but nonetheless, I feel like now I can bring to the table a lot of experience and varied experiences. And I wish I could have been a little bit kinder to myself along the way and just trust that it's gonna come about the way that it should.
Yeah. And I think there are a lot of people, creatives out there who maybe didn't decide yet to go this path. But what do you suggest for them to just have the, how do you say,
the gumption? Yeah, I mean, the freelance life, it's not easy, you know? I mean, it's not a steady paycheck that's that's always coming in and you know how much to plan for. So it's not, I wouldn't say that it's the easiest life, but it gives you a lot of freedom and chances to explore. And so I would say if you feel the urge to just take a little leap, try, you know? I mean, even if it's like while doing something else, you know, like taking on and working on honing something that you love, even if it's just a little bit at a time here and there, I think, probably one of the biggest things would be just like letting people around you know what you're passionate about, because people have an amazing way of, you know, like connecting you to other people and things, you know, like if you are open about what you want and what means something to you, I think it can come back to you. And then, you know, everything just kind of comes, you know, it grows. And, but I do think if you really want it to be like a full-time thing, it really does require taking a big leap at some point.
Oh.
And it's scary.
Put it out there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the beginning, is just trying your hand at something. Tell people, offer to do something for free every once in a while. You know, like I think obviously it feels really good to make money off of something that you love. Like I would be lying if I said otherwise. It makes me feel really good to be able to contribute to our household and like be a partner in all of this, you know. It's wonderful to see that people appreciate what you're doing. But nonetheless, you can also just really enjoy doing something for doing something and learn along the way. I'm not saying like, I mean, I think as creatives, it's really easy to undervalue what we do. And it's easy to do a lot of free work or not get paid enough. But sometimes just like look at it as, this is a learning process. And do I want to do it even if I don't get something out of it or I don't get enough? Yeah, probably you do. I mean, and if you don't do it, you know. But I mean, of course, you at some point need to learn your value. But especially if you're trying something that's a little bit different or outside of what you normally do, sometimes a little pay cut isn't the worst thing in the world, because you're getting a lot out of it, and it can grow your portfolio and can make you feel good, and then can lead to other connections.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to value my work as much as I should, you know.
But you should. I mean, do you need more proof?
Thank you.
You are also working with Cope, with other big names also in Zurich.
Yeah. I mean, Cope has been a wild one. I think it's like the first time my mother-in-law cared about what I did. She's Swiss, you know. It's like, what, Cope? You know. But I've been very, very fortunate.
Yeah.
And the people that I've been able to meet and the direction it's taken. I mean, because when I came here, I had only American clients, and now it's really shifted. It's been 10 years I've been here, and it's been really great.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes you feel much more grounded in a place when you're working with local people, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine. And also coming from America to the tiny Zurich.
Yeah, but honestly, it's been amazing. Yeah. I love it here. I really can say that.
Glad that you feel that way.
Yeah, if I could just master the language, that would be a big thing. We're
Maybe
working on it.
The next episode will be in German.
Oh shit, that would be we wouldn't get real far.
Oh well.
But I'm trying.
Yes. I mean, actually, for me, also important to know how you protect your creative energy, how you protect your creative work, because I can imagine if you're a creative person, if you work a freelancer, it can happen that somebody maybe takes your ideas and
To be honest, I've been very lucky in that I have not felt that too strong. I mean, it's happened, of course. But for me personally, I just have to look at it like, okay, somebody really liked what I did, and we're all working off of one another, like there's no like just original idea, at least to begin with, you know what I mean? Like we're grabbing things here and there. Like I said, when I'm working with clients, it's like, send me what you like, send me what's inspiring you. So we're all working with something and then morphing it hopefully in an original way. And that's what I definitely try to do. And I guess I just have to trust that, what, if somebody rips me off like that's not great juju for them, and it probably doesn't feel really great either to rip somebody off, so I mean, like, I've seen it before. I mean, in particular, like with the cover of this book.
Really?
Yeah, I saw someone created a book and it was like, you had to have looked at her cover, like the color scheme, the grid. Like, I mean, it was very similar. But at the same time, it was like, okay, well, you must have really, really liked what you saw. And
such a compliment,
like, thanks. And yes, I could contact them. And I thought about contacting them, but it was just like, in the end, like, you know what? Like, I hope you enjoy it. And that's full stop. Like, I mean, maybe I would feel stronger about it if I really felt like I'd been like really burned by somebody, but I've been lucky that it hasn't come to that. And I just have to take it as a compliment and just keep trying to be more creative on the next thing,
And are you planning to do a second table set for Sisterhood, or was just a one shot?
Oh, man, I mean, honestly, Ashley and I would love to do something like that, but I mean, it was so many years of work. I mean, we obviously, doing something now, we've learned so much in the process. And so it would surely go a lot faster. I mean, and it was like the funnest 4 years. We had so much fun. Like
4 years.
4 years.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be going out to her house. We both had really small kids. I mean, half the time when I was drawing for this, I had my son in a carrier on my front, and I'm just drawing away. I mean, it was exhausting, but we had so much fun. I mean, she's an amazing chef, and I got to go out to her house all the time and test recipes. And it was like, this is fantastic. We had a great time. But I think both of us, by the end of it, it was like, we need a break from this. Not from each other. I mean, we actually worked incredibly well together. But it just felt like, that's our baby. We've put it out in the world. And now we need to let it grow. Let it do its thing. But we talk about it. It would be super fun to come together again. I mean, it would. But I think more than anything, we would just love to find another way to collaborate, find a new path. But yeah, of course, if people were asking for more, we'd definitely do it again.
So you will say it's easier maybe to work on someone else's project than do your own.
It's definitely takes a lot less of your heart.
Okay.
With it. I mean, we had, I don't know too much to get into, but we had some big obstacles along the way. Yeah, I guess I probably shouldn't get into it too much to preserve other people, but we had some big obstacles along the way, and it hurt so much to see how whatever, they're never going to hear this. No, like the publisher really just wanted to change so much. And I mean, I had so much anxiety because I put so much into it. And then to see things kind of just like ripped apart and let's put it back together this way. And it was like, what is happening? We had to have some big fights and some big, like really show our teeth, to get it to be what we wanted. And we still had to make some concessions for sure. And that's understandable, but it was hard. And so like when I say like we gave birth to this baby and we let it out, it just really felt like that took so much of my heart that I needed to like focus on someone else's vision, and it's been beautiful the last few years to work on bringing about other people's visions. It's been super nice. I'm sure that the day will come when I really feel the need to say something on my own again. And I feel that cropping up here and there. But at this point in time, I'm still really happy working freelance and like, opening that door again because I'd taken time off from it. So I'm still very much enjoying it though.
I can somehow understand, but how did you cope during this process, this letting go of? I mean, also forgiveness, probably.
Yeah. It was not easy. I mean, it really, it was the first time that I really felt like, oh, I think I have anxiety problems, like they really, it felt like a lot of the things that I'd been able to kind of like tamper down over the years, like came to a head. And it was like, I can't hold this in anymore, like feel like I'm being attacked on like a personal level, because I'd put so much into it. And I think one of the biggest things I had to do was just really learn to stand up for what I wanted, for one. I mean, and it was hard and it was ugly. Like, I mean, things were not always real beautiful in that relationship, not between Ashley and I. I mean, she very much supported me on how things were coming along visually for it. But that was one of the biggest things, was just learning to, one, say like, no, this is not acceptable. Like, I cannot do this. But then also on the flip side, letting some things go, because I'm not going to get everything that I want. I can think quite highly of my ideas, as probably a lot of us do. But nonetheless, these people do know how to sell a book. And I need to be a little bit more humble on some of these things and, take the wins and let some things go. And it was hard. It was really hard because I had my vision in mind, So yeah, it just also took time. Like it was a slow process. It drained me a lot, but I just had to, one step at a time, just move forward and try to determine what's the most important thing to really be fighting for.
And looking back, or if somebody will come to you and say, what should I do if I want to write a book? What will be your
self-published? No. No. I really am so grateful for what they did for us, of course. But I think I don't know what I'd say to someone else. It really depends on what they want. If they want their work published and out in as many hands as possible, like, definitely, like, get yourself a publisher. I mean, it's hard. It's difficult to find a publisher. But if I had to do it again myself, I think I'd be much more choosy in how I go about that process. I wouldn't necessarily take the first offer, even if it took a long time and I'm just holding the manuscript in my hands for a long time. Because also, like I said earlier, like I'm learning to let some time go by and just trust a bit more. And I think I would definitely try to find the best fit and not just a fit as far as a publisher. But it's hard to trust that because you get a lot of rejections and it's a rough journey finding that.
Probably in general, as a freelancer, is a tough journey, and you just need to keep going, keep believing yourself in your work.
Yeah. And I think, one thing I'm coming up against now as a freelancer is, like slowly trying to change your style in certain things, like evolving, because sometimes you get stuck in a pattern, particularly with maybe like one client where you're just doing kind of the same things. Yeah. And I understand, like, they want that thing that they signed up for, but no, I'm not speaking of you, but like, it's also hard to, again, trust your intuition, like, but I really want to see what this could be like, and tweak things and find new ways of approaching things. It's much easier to just stay doing the same thing always. Same. Yeah. So that's something that's definitely challenging and I'm trying to learn.
Is there one project besides, of course, your book, I mean, this is really your baby. Is there one project that it's your favorite, or?
Well, now I'm just going to sound like I'm sucking up, like, no, but I mean, I can honestly say, Alicia, like it's working for Moon Hub. Like that's how, again, like, I mean, you can pay me later, No, no, but I really mean that because I really feel like you trusted me with your brand and like helping it come together visually. And that's a big ask, but also like a big trust, and it's been so fun, like coming up with this initial kind of idea together and how you wanted it to look visually, but then morphing it and changing it for different products, but still having this cohesion. It's been so incredibly fun. And I've done some similar things, but definitely never worked with the brand as long as I have with you on so many products. It's been different smaller things here and there, and they've been great. I've been super lucky, but it's been really fun. And I also think we work together quite well. I think we get it. You know what I mean? That's something you can't manufacture. So
indeed. No, I mean, you were from the beginning, from the birth of Moon Hub, you were deep inside this project. And I think this is also what makes the brand, because you see this pattern. You see,
yeah. I feel incredibly fortunate. I really mean it.
Me too. I mean, it's not obvious, but for me it was so important to, because when I work with somebody, I give my completely trust. For me, it's just the only way of working together. If there is trust, if there is mutual agreement, mutual understanding, and this is.
No, I can't tell you how much that means as someone who has worked for you, though. I mean, because that is not a given. And that was very clear from the beginning, where you just like trusted the process and had faith in me, and that's, I wish all clients could be so wonderful. I mean, I really mean that. It's been amazing.
Thank you so
much. Let's keep going.
Next project, next product. No. Maybe, is there something, the closure, you would like to say to our viewers, to our listeners?
Oh gosh, the sky's the limit here. I mean, I guess I'll just end with kind of my mantra, which has been as of late, and then you're going to laugh when you hear where it comes from. It's become kind of a family mantra.
Okay.
So recently, have you ever seen the movie The Incredibles?
Yes.
Yeah. So
all of them.
So for Christmas, we got, a big, like the beamer, so that we can watch movies on a wall. It's been so fun because we've never had a TV or anything. It was just like watching our little iPad. So this was like a very exciting thing. So we watched Incredibles and Incredibles 2 recently as a family. And we all have just decided that we really love Edna Mode, the like fashion designer of the costumes. And we just think she's really funny and her voice is just hilarious. And so one line that we keep repeating, but it's actually pretty genius, is she says, "I never look back, darling. It distracts from the now." And it's funny because I've got this, 6 and 9-year-old, and they always say it in this hilarious accent. But it's I've kind of taken it to heart as of late because we've been joking about this so much. But I just love this idea, like I can be a very nostalgic person, and I think that comes with beautiful things, but also comes with a lot of like living in the past. And then I also have a real tendency to live in the future, worrying about the next thing, But I love this, like I never look back. And I can add never look forward too much because it distracts from the now. And I think especially as like a mom and watching little humans grow up, like it happens so fast. Everything happens so fast, And
indeed,
I'm really trying to live in the now and not be too distracted. And this is so much easier said than done. But I would say, if there's anything I'm working on, it's that. And Yeah, maybe that can inspire someone else to watch The Incredibles, or just to try to not be too distracted by what's happened and where we've been. We can learn a lot from the past, but we're living now.
I used to say, your past doesn't define you. It made you,
doesn't,
but it doesn't define you.
I love that. No, and I completely agree. Again, we can learn so much from where we've been.
We should.
But and we should, absolutely. But it doesn't determine where we're headed and what we're doing now.
Yes.
You choose that.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your amazing products, and looking so much forward, first of all, to the dog cards.
Me too.
And then to all the projects, to future products, talking about the future.
Yes, we can look excitedly, but we're living now.
Yes.
No, I very much look forward to it as well. And thank you for having me.
Thank you. To the next podcast, I will say.
Okay, you got it, baby. Thanks, Alicia.